All right, here we go. Question number 11 from our college algebra homework number 1 in ALEKS. We have a word problem that involves a piecewise function. A sled accelerates down a hill, then slows down after it reaches a flat portion of ground. The speed of the sled, S of t, in feet per second, at a time t in seconds after movement can be approximated by. So what we notice is, if you look at the top piece of the piecewise function, that expression, that part of the function applies for any time between 0 and 30 seconds. And then once you exceed 30 seconds, then the bottom part of the function applies up until 100 seconds. So if we read on, it says, determine the speed of the sled after 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, and 100 seconds. So all this problem really is repeated plug and play. Notice they also say that we need to round to 1 decimal place if necessary. All right, so let's copy this into our scratch work. And notice that the top piece of the function is simply t. So for any time t between 0 and 30, the speed is just whatever the time is. So the first value was s of 20, which if we plug into the top piece, because 20 is between 0 and 30, that's just going to give us 20. And it looks like we're going to have to put in each part and check as we go. So the first answer is 20, and we need to check. And then next, it says the speed of the sled is what after 30 seconds? Going back to the scratch work, S of 30. Since 30 is equal to 30, then the top piece applies again. And so that would also be 30. Plugging that in for t just gives me the 30 back. And so if we plug in 30 and zoom out to check, yay, good so far. Now we need the speed of the sled after 40 seconds. So S of 40. Now we're going to switch to the bottom piece because 40 is between 30 and 100. And so that calculation is going to be 40 divided by, plugging in 40 for t, 40 minus 29. And I can't think of a better way to calculate that than with the Casio Class Whiz. So we're going to say 40 over 40 minus 29. Remember, it said round to the nearest tenth if necessary, and in this case it would be necessary since it didn't come out to be an integer. So hitting the SD button, rounding to the nearest tenth would be 3.6. So we could say that's approximately 3.6, and then plugging that into ALEKS and zoom out and check. And one more, and we're done. At 100 seconds, that reaches the limit of what our function can calculate. That is the maximum value of time that this function will account for. And so we can say S of 100, again plugging into the bottom piece because that satisfies the bottom inequality. We get 40 over 100 minus 29. So again, back to the calculator. Notice that I can simply scroll back in my Casio Class Whiz and edit what I entered previously. And again, I have to hit the SD button to get a decimal. And this time we actually need to round up. 0.56 to the nearest tenth would round to 0.6. And so we can say that is approximately 0.6. And if you want to put the 0, that's fine. If you don't want to put the 0 in front of the decimal, that's fine too. All right, here we go. 0.6, zoom out and check. And that's going to do it for this problem. So if you have any questions or comments about anything covered in this video, please feel free to leave those in the comment section below, or you can text me. And thanks for watching.